Most men try too hard to impress women. They buy expensive things, they show off, they chase attention. But high-value women are not attracted to that. In fact, the harder you try to impress them, the faster they lose interest. Because the men they truly want don't try to prove their value. They already know it. Today you will learn how to become the kind of man high-value women naturally chase. Number 1. Build a strong life. High value. Women are attracted to men who have direction, and that sentence alone exposes a truth many people avoid, because direction forces a man to confront his own life honestly, and most people prefer distraction over discipline. Yet the moment you begin building a life that has structure, goals, routines, and progress, everything about the way people treat you starts changing. Because you are no longer walking through the world hoping someone chooses you. You are walking through the world building something real that gives your days meaning and purpose. And when a man lives like that, he stops staring at his phone waiting for attention and starts waking up with intention. He stops calculating every message from her and begins calculating his next move in life. He stops shaping his schedule around her availability and begins shaping his future around his ambitions. And this shift is uncomfortable at first, because it forces you to confront the truth about your habits, your laziness, your distractions, and the parts of your life you have been avoiding for years. But that discomfort is the exact doorway to power, because a strong life is not built by accident. It is built by choosing discipline when comfort is easier, by choosing the gym when the couch is easier, by choosing work when scrolling is easier, by choosing silence and focus when complaining is easier. And the reality many men quietly understand but rarely say out loud is that when a man lacks purpose, he begins chasing validation from women because attention temporarily fills the emptiness of directionless living. Yet that attention fades quickly and leaves him even more restless than before. And that is exactly why she often pulls away from men who revolve their lives around her, because she senses there is nothing deeper underneath the attention he is giving her. She senses he is available at any moment. She senses that his energy is focused on her instead of on building something meaningful. And the moment she senses that imbalance, she begins testing boundaries and pulling back, because deep down she wants a man whose life does not collapse when she steps away. And that is where most men make the mistake of trying harder to impress her instead of building themselves. They buy things they cannot afford. They show off lifestyles that are not real. They perform confidence rather than earning it through consistent progress. But high-value women notice the difference immediately, because authentic confidence does not beg for approval. It simply exists through actions repeated every day. And when you begin structuring your life around growth, you naturally stop seeking permission from anyone to pursue your goals. You start waking earlier because your time becomes valuable. You start protecting your energy because you realize not every conversation deserves your attention. You start focusing on improving your body, your skills, your discipline, your finances, and your environment. And slowly your entire mindset changes, because you are no longer reacting to life, you are actively shaping it. And when that shift happens, something powerful occurs that many men underestimate. You stop needing her validation because your days are already full of meaningful effort. And that independence changes the dynamic between you and women completely, because now you are not chasing their attention out of boredom or loneliness. You are choosing whether someone deserves space in a life that already has direction, and that subtle change is what makes a man naturally attractive, because he is not trying to be impressive, he is busy becoming effective. And when a man becomes effective, he develops quiet confidence through competence. He speaks less because his actions speak louder. He complains less because he knows complaining produces nothing. He becomes patient because he understands real results take time, and he becomes resilient because discipline teaches him that progress comes from consistent effort rather than emotional impulses. And this mindset aligns perfectly with Stoic principles, even if you never call it that, because it is built on controlling what you can control and ignoring what you cannot control. It is built on accepting that life contains obstacles and deciding that obstacles are not excuses but opportunities to grow stronger. It is built on understanding that your energy must be invested in actions rather than emotional reactions. And when you apply this thinking daily, your priorities change dramatically, because instead of worrying about whether she texts you back, you start asking better questions like, what skills am I building today? How am I improving my discipline today? How am I strengthening my body and mind today? What progress am I making toward the life I claim I want? And those questions push you forward relentlessly because they force accountability. And accountability is the foundation of masculine growth. And the more you hold yourself accountable, the less patience you develop for situations that drain your time and attention, including relationships that lack mutual respect. Because a man who is building something meaningful understands that every hour spent chasing someone who does not value him is an hour stolen from the future he is working toward. And once you understand that deeply, you stop tolerating behavior that wastes your time. You stop explaining yourself to people who are not invested in your growth, and you stop negotiating your standards just to keep someone around. And that is the moment your life begins transforming in your favor, because you are no longer desperate for companionship. You are selective about who enters your world. And ironically, that selectiveness is exactly what draws high-value women toward you, because they recognize that you are not easily impressed and that your life has substance beyond dating and attention. And that realization forces them to see you differently, because you are not behaving like the majority of men they encounter who compete for their approval. Instead, you are competing with the man you were yesterday, constantly improving your habits, sharpening your focus, and strengthening your discipline. And the more you commit to this path, the clearer your mind becomes, because you are no longer distracted by temporary pleasures that derail your progress. You become patient with results because you understand that long-term growth requires consistency. You become comfortable with solitude because solitude allows concentration, and you begin appreciating the quiet satisfaction that comes from building a life brick by brick without needing applause from anyone. And that is where true confidence forms, because it is not dependent on compliments or attention. It is grounded in the knowledge that every day you are becoming stronger, more disciplined, and more capable than you were before. And once you reach that stage, you no longer ask how to attract high-value women, because the better question becomes, how do I continue building a life so meaningful that the right woman naturally wants to be part of it, rather than being the center of it? And if you are serious about building that kind of life with discipline, clarity, and unshakable standards, that is exactly why the Stoic Relationship Blueprint was created. A guide for men filled with timeless Stoic principles designed to help you take control of your mindset, your relationships, and the direction of your life starting today. It is now also available as an audiobook, so you can absorb this life-changing knowledge while walking, jogging, driving, or during the quiet moments when your mind is ready to grow instead of drift. The link is in the comments, and once you get it, the book is always yours, meaning the wisdom inside it remains with you for life whenever you need to return to it and strengthen the man you are becoming. Number 2. Control your emotions. Emotional control is extremely attractive because emotional control is the dividing line between men who lead their lives with clarity and men who are constantly pushed around by their impulses, insecurities, and frustrations. And when you observe how many relationships collapse, you quickly notice a pattern that repeats itself again and again, where a man reacts impulsively to situations. Instead of responding with calm discipline, he sends messages out of irritation. He speaks out of anger. He makes decisions out of insecurity. And every one of those reactions quietly erodes respect, because emotional instability signals that his internal world is not governed by reason, but by impulses. And people notice this instantly, even if they cannot explain it clearly, especially women, because she pays close attention to how a man handles pressure, uncertainty, and disappointment. And when she sees him lose control over small inconveniences, she begins questioning whether he can handle the serious challenges that inevitably appear in life. And that is why emotional control carries so much influence, because it communicates strength without needing to announce it. And the man who develops this skill becomes remarkably difficult to manipulate because he does not allow temporary emotions to dictate his actions. He observes situations calmly, he processes information carefully, and he chooses responses deliberately rather than reacting instantly. And this approach requires discipline because society constantly encourages people to express every impulse immediately, yet Stoic thinking teaches the opposite by reminding you that your emotions are signals rather than commands, and that your responsibility is to interpret those signals without surrendering control of your behavior. And once you begin applying this principle consistently, you start noticing how many unnecessary conflicts disappear from your life simply because you refuse to escalate situations emotionally. When she delays replying to your message, you do not spiral into assumptions about what she might be doing or who she might be speaking to, because you understand that your imagination is not a reliable source of truth. When she cancels plans unexpectedly, you do not respond with irritation because you recognize that frustration does not improve the situation. When someone disrespects your time, you address it calmly and firmly rather than exploding emotionally, and that calm firmness creates a powerful presence because it demonstrates that you are not easily shaken by circumstances or by other people's behavior. And the more you practice this discipline, the clearer your thinking becomes, because your mind is no longer clouded by emotional turbulence. You become capable of analyzing situations logically rather than interpreting them through insecurity. You become capable of recognizing patterns in people's behavior without being blinded by temporary excitement or disappointment. And you become capable of protecting your boundaries without unnecessary drama. And that combination of clarity and restraint naturally elevates the way others perceive you, because emotional stability signals reliability, leadership, and maturity. And those qualities are rare in a world where many people are controlled by their impulses. Yet emotional control does not mean suppressing your humanity or pretending you never experience frustration or anger, because those emotions are part of being alive. What matters is how you manage them, whether you allow them to dictate your behavior or whether you acknowledge them and still choose disciplined action. And that distinction changes everything, because the man who masters this discipline cannot be easily provoked into saying things he regrets or making decisions that sabotage his long-term goals. He remains composed in situations where others panic. He remains thoughtful in situations where others react impulsively. And he remains focused on solutions rather than wasting energy on emotional chaos. And when you adopt this mindset consistently, you begin experiencing a powerful sense of internal freedom because you are no longer a prisoner of other people's behavior. Her moods do not control your mindset. Her silence does not dictate your self-worth. Her attention does not determine your confidence. And that independence shifts the dynamic completely, because she quickly realizes she cannot manipulate your reactions through small provocations or emotional games. She cannot provoke jealousy to gain attention. She cannot provoke insecurity to maintain control. And once she understands that your emotional state is governed by your own discipline rather than by her actions, she begins respecting your presence in a different way, because emotional stability communicates strength far more effectively than aggressive displays ever could. And this discipline also benefits every other area of your life, because when your emotions are under control, your decisions become sharper, your focus becomes stronger, your productivity increases, and your relationships become healthier since you are no longer creating unnecessary tension through impulsive reactions. And gradually you begin appreciating the quiet power that comes from remaining composed in situations where others lose control, because that composure allows you to see opportunities and solutions that emotional chaos hides from people who react impulsively. And this is where Stoic thinking becomes extremely practical in daily life, because it teaches you to separate what belongs to your control from what does not belong to your control. Your effort belongs to your control. Your discipline belongs to your control. Your reactions belong to your control. But other people's opinions, moods, and behaviors do not belong to your control. And once you internalize that distinction deeply, you stop wasting energy attempting to control what was never yours to control in the first place. You stop trying to manage her emotions. You stop trying to force outcomes that depend on someone else's decisions. And instead, you concentrate your energy entirely on your own conduct and character. And that focus creates a powerful sense of self-mastery, because you realize that your peace does not depend on external validation or unpredictable attention. It depends on your ability to govern your thoughts and actions with discipline. And when you reach that stage, you walk through life with calm confidence, because you know that regardless of what anyone else does, you remain in command of your own behavior, and that quiet authority becomes one of the most attractive traits a man can develop, because it demonstrates that his stability is internal rather than dependent on approval from anyone. Number 3. Respect yourself first. Self-respect is one of the most powerful forms of attraction, yet most men quietly abandon it the moment a woman they desire enters their life. And that is where everything begins to collapse, because the second you start negotiating your dignity for her attention, you communicate something deeper than words ever could. You communicate that her approval carries more value than your own standards. And she notices this immediately, even if she never says it directly, because people instinctively recognize when someone is willing to lower their boundaries to keep them around. And once that pattern begins, it rarely stops on its own, since every compromise makes the next compromise easier. First, you overlook small disrespect. Then you excuse inconsistency. Then you tolerate behavior that drains your time and attention. And before long, you look at your own life and realize you are adjusting your personality, your schedule, your decisions, and even your values, simply to maintain access to someone who has not earned that level of influence. And that realization is uncomfortable, because it exposes a truth many men try to avoid, which is that they often give loyalty before it has been deserved, and commitment before it has been demonstrated. And she quickly senses this imbalance, because when a man offers his full attention too early, he places himself in a weaker position where she holds the power to withdraw and watch him scramble to restore the connection. And that is where many men begin making desperate choices, such as sending long explanations, apologizing for things that never required apology, or adjusting their standards just to keep her engaged. But respect does not grow in environments where a man continuously lowers himself in order to maintain approval. Respect grows when a man demonstrates that his principles are not negotiable, and that his self-worth is not dependent on anyone's temporary attention. And this is where Stoic discipline becomes extremely valuable, because it teaches you to measure your actions by your own standards rather than by someone else's approval, meaning you stop asking whether she likes what you are doing and start asking whether what you are doing aligns with the man you are trying to become. And once that shift happens, you begin operating with a different level of clarity, because you understand that respect begins with self-governance. It begins with honoring your commitments to yourself. It begins with protecting your time. It begins with refusing to tolerate behavior that contradicts your values. And this does not require shouting, arguing, or dramatic ultimatums. Because true self-respect is quiet and controlled. It simply removes itself from situations that do not align with its standards. And when you adopt this mindset consistently, you stop chasing conversations that go nowhere. You stop pursuing people who repeatedly demonstrate disinterest. You stop explaining your worth to someone who benefits from pretending not to see it. And instead, you invest your energy into actions that strengthen your life. And ironically, that calm refusal to tolerate nonsense is exactly what causes people to treat you differently, because you are no longer seeking validation from them. You are evaluating whether they deserve a place in your life, and that subtle reversal changes the entire dynamic. Because now she must decide whether she is willing to meet your standards rather than expecting you to constantly meet hers. And when she realizes that you are not bending your boundaries just to keep her comfortable, she begins approaching you with a different level of awareness, since your presence is no longer guaranteed. And this is where many men begin recognizing a powerful truth that society rarely explains clearly, which is that attraction often increases when a man demonstrates that he can walk away without hesitation, not out of bitterness or hostility, but out of calm conviction that his time and energy are valuable resources that must be invested wisely. And once you internalize that idea, you stop fearing the possibility of losing someone who does not respect you, because you realize that maintaining your dignity always produces better outcomes than clinging to situations that drain your confidence. And this perspective creates inner stability, because you no longer measure your value through the unpredictable attention of others. You measure it through your ability to remain aligned with your principles, regardless of who approves or disapproves. And the moment you adopt that mindset, your interactions with women become far healthier, because you are no longer trying to win their validation through constant accommodation. You are simply presenting your authentic character and allowing them to decide whether they want to be part of a life that already operates according to clear standards. And if she cannot respect those standards, you calmly move forward rather than trying to convince her otherwise, because you understand that respect forced through persuasion rarely lasts, whereas respect earned through consistent character tends to grow naturally over time. And that realization frees you from the exhausting cycle of chasing approval, because your focus shifts entirely toward becoming a man whose actions reflect discipline, integrity, and purpose. And once those qualities become your daily practice, you no longer need to demand respect from anyone, because the way you live already communicates that disrespect will not be tolerated. Number 4. Be calm and mysterious. Mystery creates attraction, and this principle operates quietly beneath countless interactions between people, because curiosity has always been one of the strongest psychological forces influencing human attention. Yet many men unknowingly destroy this advantage by revealing everything about themselves too quickly in an attempt to impress a woman they barely know. They tell long stories about their past. They explain every detail of their plans. They speak constantly during conversations, trying to prove how interesting they are. And in doing so, they remove the natural intrigue that would have encouraged her to gradually discover who they are. And when intrigue disappears, so does curiosity, because people become far less invested in something that already appears completely understood. And this is why calm restraint becomes such a powerful trait, because when a man speaks thoughtfully instead of endlessly, he allows space for curiosity to grow. He allows silence to exist without rushing to fill it. He listens more carefully than he speaks, and this quiet confidence communicates something important that cannot be faked through words alone. It communicates that he is comfortable within himself and therefore has no urgency to impress anyone through constant explanation. And when you observe how individuals with strong presence interact, you will notice this pattern consistently, because they are not frantic during conversations. They are deliberate. They choose their words carefully. They allow pauses to exist without anxiety, and they show genuine interest in understanding the other person instead of trying to dominate the interaction. And this approach transforms the energy of the conversation, because the focus shifts away from performance and toward connection. Yet connection does not mean revealing every thought or experience immediately, since depth requires time. And when you reveal your personality, gradually you create layers that encourage the other person to keep discovering more about you. And that gradual discovery builds engagement because curiosity remains alive. And this is where Stoic composure once again becomes extremely practical, since it encourages you to observe before reacting and to speak with intention rather than impulse, meaning you resist the urge to fill every moment with unnecessary talk and instead focus on clarity and substance when you do speak. And as you practice this discipline, your presence naturally becomes calmer because you are no longer chasing attention through constant expression. You are comfortable allowing your actions, your posture, and your composure to communicate confidence without needing verbal confirmation. And this calm presence stands out dramatically in environments where many people compete for attention through noise, exaggerated behavior, and endless explanation, because when everyone else is speaking loudly, the quiet individual who observes carefully becomes intriguing by contrast. And she notices this difference quickly because calm restraint signals that your confidence is internal rather than dependent on constant external validation. And when she asks questions about your life, you answer honestly but concisely, offering enough information to be genuine while leaving space for future conversations to reveal additional layers. And that balance keeps the interaction engaging because curiosity remains active instead of being satisfied instantly. And at the same time, your calm demeanor communicates stability because you are not seeking approval through oversharing or exaggeration. You are simply expressing yourself with clarity and restraint. And this combination of authenticity and composure often causes people to pay closer attention to your words because you do not waste them. And when your words carry weight, your presence becomes memorable. And as this pattern continues, you begin noticing that people ask more questions about you. They become more attentive during conversations, and they show greater interest in understanding your perspectives because you have created an environment where discovery happens gradually instead of being forced instantly. And this dynamic strengthens attraction because curiosity thrives when information unfolds naturally rather than being delivered all at once. And by maintaining this calm, thoughtful approach, you avoid the common mistake of trying to impress through constant talking or exaggerated storytelling. Instead, you allow your actions, discipline, and character to reveal themselves over time. And this creates a deeper form of intrigue, because the more someone interacts with you, the more they realize there is substance beneath your calm demeanor. And that realization builds respect as well as curiosity because you are not attempting to manufacture interest through artificial behavior. You are simply presenting yourself honestly while maintaining the composure and restraint that allow genuine intrigue to develop. Number 5. Focus on growth. The most attractive men never stop improving, and this principle forms the foundation of a life that continuously moves forward rather than remaining trapped in cycles of stagnation and frustration. Because growth requires intentional effort and accountability, two qualities that separate individuals who transform their lives from those who endlessly complain about circumstances without changing their habits. And when you begin focusing on growth, you quickly realize that every area of your life can either strengthen or weaken your progress, depending on the choices you make daily. Your physical health, your mindset, your discipline, your knowledge, your financial habits, your environment, and even the people you allow into your circle all influence the direction your life takes. And the moment you accept responsibility for these factors, you gain the ability to shape your future through deliberate action, rather than drifting through life, reacting to whatever appears in front of you. And this shift toward responsibility aligns perfectly with Stoic thinking, because it emphasizes that your character is built through the choices you repeat consistently, not through the circumstances you complain about, meaning your focus must remain on improving what lies within your control instead of wasting energy resenting what lies outside it. And once you begin practicing this discipline daily, you develop momentum that changes the way you approach challenges, because obstacles stop appearing as excuses and start appearing as opportunities to strengthen your resilience. Every demanding workout becomes evidence that your discipline is increasing. Every difficult project becomes proof that your skills are expanding. Every uncomfortable conversation becomes an opportunity to refine your communication and assertiveness. And over time, these small improvements accumulate into powerful transformation, because consistency compounds results in ways that occasional bursts of motivation never can. And this realization gradually replaces impatience with persistence, since you understand that meaningful growth requires sustained effort rather than instant gratification. And as your habits strengthen, your confidence grows naturally, because confidence built through discipline is far more stable than confidence borrowed from temporary attention or external praise. And this internal stability influences how others perceive you, because people instinctively respect individuals who demonstrate commitment to improvement. They notice the discipline required to maintain healthy routines. They notice the focus required to develop expertise, and they notice the resilience required to keep progressing despite setbacks. And these observations create admiration, because consistent growth signals reliability and determination. Two qualities that are increasingly rare in environments where many individuals pursue comfort instead of progress. And as you continue refining your habits, you begin recognizing that growth is not limited to external achievements such as income or physical strength. It also involves strengthening your mindset so that distractions and temporary pleasures no longer derail your focus. It involves learning to delay gratification in order to achieve long-term rewards, and it involves cultivating patience so that you remain steady even when progress appears slower than expected. And when these qualities become part of your daily practice, your entire life begins aligning with purpose, because every decision becomes guided by the question of whether it contributes to your long-term development. And this perspective eliminates countless distractions, because you stop wasting time on activities that provide momentary amusement but no lasting value. You stop investing energy in arguments that produce nothing constructive, and you stop chasing approval from individuals who contribute nothing to your growth. And instead, you channel your attention toward learning, building, training, and refining the habits that move you closer to the life you intend to create. And as this pattern continues, your progress becomes visible not only through external achievements, but through the calm confidence and discipline that define your character. And that presence attracts respect naturally, because people recognize that your life is guided by purpose rather than by impulses. And when a woman observes this level of commitment to growth, she understands that you are not stagnant, you are evolving continuously, which means your future carries potential and direction rather than uncertainty and drift. And that realization often inspires greater interest, because individuals who pursue growth relentlessly tend to elevate the lives of those who accompany them, yet even without considering anyone else's perspective. The greatest reward of focusing on growth remains the transformation that occurs within your own character, because each disciplined action strengthens your belief in your ability to shape your destiny. And once you truly understand that your future is built through the habits you practice every day, you stop searching for shortcuts and start embracing the long process of improvement with determination and patience. Most people will ignore everything you heard today and go back to chasing attention, but deep down you know the truth. The moment you stop begging for validation and start mastering your discipline, your standards, and your mind, is the moment your entire life changes. And that is exactly why the Stoic relationship blueprint exists, a powerful guide for men packed with timeless Stoic principles that will transform the way you think, live, and deal with women immediately. And it is now also available in audiobook form, so you can listen to this life-changing knowledge while walking, driving, or training, and the link is waiting for you in the comments. If you are ready to step out of the trap that keeps so many men stuck, and finally take control of your mindset and your future, comment unshakable, like this video, and subscribe so more men can discover these truths before they waste years of their lives chasing illusions. Society quietly benefits from them, never questioning.